style dagger, let's say, for Molly Mock, or by extension Taliesin Jaffe. And this is part 2 in my series of making weapons and tools for the cast and critical role. So I've already got a piece of steel in the fire heated up, so I'm just going to start out. I'm going to isolate where I want the handle. So I'm wanting the handle probably about here, and that's all just going to get isolated down. And what you'll see me do a lot of, when I'm not talking as well, like when I'm just working, is I'll be hitting and I'll be putting it flat and hitting it flat again, because this material is thin enough that it has a tendency to try and bow in kind of a U shape, going one side or the other. And to stop that, you've got to take your time and make sure that it stays flat, because if it doesn't stay flat, then you end up with a very crooked, awkward handle. And in some cases even a blade, because I'm going to have to draw this entire piece down. Okay, so that's back in the forge heating up. Again, I'm just coming to the front face of the anvil, and I'm just going to keep isolating that handle down. Flying off the piece right now is called scale. It's basically iron oxide that forms when you heat steel up to high temperatures. And you'll see this is isolating a lot easier now, because I'm starting to get rid of that bow that's created. So now it's a lot more plastic, and it holds the heat longer. There we go. Start working on this end now, bringing it down just a little bit. I'm going to be working on this right here, bringing it down, and then squishing everything out into a nice point. this thing down fast enough. So I swap it from my 2-pound hammer to my 3-pound hammer. And I should be able to break this chunk of steel down a bit faster and get it down to the correct dimensions. Because we also don't want this video to be eons long. So everyone's in for a little bit of a treat this time. I put some water on the anvil to try and get rid of some of the scale that's built up on the sides of this blade. So it usually tends to make a very loud pop. Blade down and making sure to flip it around and start working on the handle, actually. That's what I should do. Start getting that handle built down again. The handle's way too thick, so I'm going to need to slim it down this way again. And Jaffe's hands actually are. So I'm going to make this handle longer than shorter, because having a big hand and trying to fit a big hand onto a small handle is a lot more uncomfortable than the other way around, trying to fit a small hand onto a big handle. So. I need to force all those wobbles out, make it straight, and then this back is going to curve slightly. It's going to curve up to a point. So we'll see if I can get her there. So you'll see I'm being much more gentle. I'm just tapping everything, and I'm making sure that I can keep this blade nice and straight. Because my goal is to have it do that little bit of a curve, not much, just enough that it's noticeable. Because I don't want it to be this big, ridiculous curve that no one would ever be able to fit into a sheath. Going to get a little bit more. Near the tip. There we go. And you'll see I'm doing this when it's much darker, just so I can have a lot more leniency with how much the metal moves. So that's the curve on it right now. I think that looks pretty good. Now it's time to bevel it. I'm going to be hand beveling it using my a different hammer called a dog face hammer. So as you can see, these are the two different styles of hammer. This is a dog face hammer. It's only got one long face, and then this one's got two. This is a cross beam. It's got it's a cross face and a flat face. And this one's rounded slightly so that you can put a nice bevel on any sort of edged weapon. Or tool, I should say. Because not everything needs to be a weapon. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to be taking the hammer and I'm going to be hitting down like this. And I'm going to be forcing the steel back in on itself to create a bevel. Now this is easy to do when you're on the edge of an anvil. All I'm going to do is just keep going along this whole bevel, forcing it down. And it will wreck the shape a little bit, and I'll have to tune that up. On my belt sander. There's a small bevel starting. It's not going to go straight to a point or straight to an edge. Because if I ever want to quench this blade, and it's got too much of an edge on it, you risk ruining the edge with it cracking because there's so little material. So right now I'm just straightening everything out. Set her down flat. Down it. Perfect. There's a couple high spots that I need to take out. There we go. Okay. Everything's looking pretty nice and straight. I'm going to heat it up one more time, straighten everything, and then that'll be the end of this video, guys. Alrighty, so I'm just going to be straightening this whole beast out real quick. I'm going to actually use the whole flat of my anvil, set it down. look at it. You see down right here. The handle actually seems like it stayed straight and true to the blade. One little spot right there. And that's it. So there's the forged rough knife. It needs to be taken to my belt sander and ground down a bunch. That'll be part 2 of these videos. And I hope you enjoy them. I'll see you guys in the next one.